Previously on Miss President.
Miss President journey has changed me in very many ways. There is no place I go right now that someone at random, including children, does not say, Miss President! And I have to turn. And that makes me always conscious, about how do I refine, my messaging to be in tandem with all these things that we have been taught, while we have been in the academy.
The journey through Miss President has changed me in more ways than one. I want to be a leader in my county. I have gained valuable skills that put me in a very beautiful position and a very different, unique position to actually lead my people back in Nyeri County.
Miss President has completely changed me. Because now, people are calling you up for events because they feel like your presence would be of importance. Because you're Miss President, you have to own up to the title and show up for the community. One thing I'm proud of, and I'm very excited to even say it, is the fact that I'm getting to do this at this age. And maybe that's something I would want to encourage the young people.
I think I have grown in terms of understanding where people's emotions come from, because it has been quite an emotional journey. I've come to understand how people make decisions that sometimes are irrational and they act in haste. So I've been able to learn to be focused and not get sidetracked, to lose sight of that ball.
When I look at myself and how I articulate issues out there in the county assembly, when I'm legislating on behalf of the people of Nyamira, it's very different. My level of thinking is very different. And all this is thanks to the knowledge that I acquired right here in the Miss President Academy.
These 5 contenders are on the last lap, and the finish line is approaching. Watch things speed up, challenges step up, and the heat ramp up as they continue to push the boundaries and face you, the people. And now, a quick look at the contestants still in the academy. The contestants are competing at an individual level. Hey, good evening, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Miss President. Tonight is a very special show as it marks the end to the pre-recorded episodes as we go live starting next week. Lakini kitu nikutetea usichoke. Hii Kenya yetu kweli, is it ready for a female president? Our topic tonight? Well, tonight we have 2 main topics and a field trip that you cannot miss. It's like to spoil a surprise and preempt. That's killing the fun of the show. But all I can reveal for now is that tonight's episode will touch on 2 main topics: communications and campaign strategy. Tonight's episode was filmed over a span of several days. Mazina Kwambe issue and I get more and more interesting as the top 5 battle it out here at the academy. Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected. 16 made it to the finals, and we went to visit each one of them in their counties to learn more about them. Now, only the top 5 remain. The final battle is on to see who will emerge as the winner after all these months of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations and eliminations to eventually be voted in by you as Miss President. Here are the counties that are represented by the remaining contestants. Now, let's meet our esteemed judges for this episode.
I'm Dr. Zipporah Okoth. I'm a lecturer of film and theatre arts at Kenyatta University. I'm also the founder of the Lake International Pan-African Film Festival. I'm a gender consultant and a performing artist. I'm looking for people who are informed, presentable, firm, and have a purpose.
Hi, I'm Jerry Kerene. I work in the policy environment, helping various small groups lobby for better laws for business. I'm a tough judge. I'm no nonsense. The minute you come before me, you better know your stuff. If you don't, well, you can only expect a challenge.
My name is Michael Onyango, and I work within the field of ICT and also communications and public policy. And I want to ensure that the person that ends up being Miss President will be able to galvanize and take charge of the best human resource that we have. As a country, we are playing at the global level. So keep it locked.
The gears, they may shift, the terrain is getting tougher, and you can feel the tension, the nerves, but also the quick comebacks, wit, and resilience of each one of our contestants as they continue on this path to leadership. Who will convince us today and sell their vision? What new tactics will the top 5 and their campaign teams come up with that is different from the Kenyan politics we are used to seeing playing our every election cycle?
My name is Ngari Gituku. I have been a teacher in the past. I have also been involved in a number of political campaigns with various candidates, and along the way I've picked a few snippets, a few ideas and insights that I'd like to share with you, the contestants today, as you think about how you're going to impress your target audiences.
Hi, my name is Christine. I'm a training consultant. I'm the founder and lead trainer at Soft Skills Limited. We train in people's skills, relational skills, such as customer service, such as etiquette, which are the unwritten rules of conduct, and also communication.
So this is Team Irene Mayaka for President. We call ourselves Rais Irene Mayaka kwa ajili yenu. And I'd just like to first of all introduce my very able campaign team.
Kwa majina naitwa Shamala Immaculate kutoka kaunti ya Trans Nzoia, na mimi niko napigia debe Rais Irene Mayaka.
My name is Nadia Ahmed. I'm from Mombasa County and I am Team Rene Mayaka.
Hello, salam alaikum. This is Khair Harun Mohammed from County 007, Garissa County, and I'm here to introduce my campaign team.
Naitwa Juliet Mapenzi Rua kutoka County 003, Kilifi County, na niko hapa kupeana support kwa Khair for President from County 007.
My name is Vivian Ta. I'm here to support Umi for Miss President.
My name is Miss President Anne Warogoro Kiai, and I am in the very safe hands of a thinking team.
My name is Benedette Muyomi. I am Team Anne Kiai. Na sisi ni viongozi mashinani.
Kwa majina naitwa Shamim Maya Mohamed, na nashukuru sana kukuwa katika timu hii ambayo naamini kwamba ni timu ambayo itakuja kuleta utofauti, na natokea County 004.
This is Team Betty for Miss President, representing County 047, and I'm super honored to introduce my campaign team.
My name is Daisy Mwangi from Kirinyaga County, supporting Betty for Miss President, Nairobi County, and Miss President, Kenya.
And this is Nancy Nzisa, representing Machakos County, supporting Team Betty.
I'm Nerea Amondi Okech, Miss President from Homa Bay County, and I'm here with my team.
My name is Jemima Kutata from County 001 Mombasa, and I'm here to support Nerea.
This is Caroline Ogot from Kisumu County. I have a very competitive president, so let's roll.
Okay, so first part of today, of course, is communication, and then we'll get on to campaign strategy, which is key, especially where you guys are going. So I'm going to ask our Mwalimu to come back. She was, I think, one of our first Mwalimus to be on the show. Let's give a round of applause. Karibu Christine.
Hi, ladies. It is so good to see you. Whoa. I'm talking about the art of speaking. We want to ask ourselves, what is a good speech? What amounts to a good speech? And so talk to me here. Who are some of the good speakers that we know?
I take William Ruto as a good speaker.
William Ruto?
Chimamanda, and the way she connects. So to me, she's a very good speaker.
Name something about that speech you had that makes that speech memorable.
Chimamanda Adichie, on her TED Talk speech, The Danger of a Single Story, she was able to bring out the real issues that were affecting the African people especially. And that's something we could all relate with, but in a very simple language.
There's a quote that says, people will forget what you said, people will even forget what you did, but people will not forget how you made them feel. So at the end of the day, we are looking for, how will my audience feel? You want to grab the attention of your audience as soon as you start to speak. How do you grab the attention?
You can start with a story that the audience can relate to, either of your own or of someone you know.
So you have to let them know of you first before telling them what you have to tell them. Your introductions need to answer the question, why should we listen to you? Now, whatever you do, don't be boring. What amounts to boredom?
Umekuja na uko na hasira zako, stress umezitoa nyumbani unaletea watu. So
unakuja kusomea.
Yes, people get bored.
So you want to avoid those, all right? Human beings have 5 senses. Don't just speak to the ear. People have to be able to see. People have to be able to feel, all right? So appeal to all of the emotion. Let your personality shine through. We have named some very powerful speakers. We know some people who are very good at speaking. Do not imitate even the best speaker. People need to be able to relate with you. Where you have been, what you have been through, is the platform on which you speak. What are some of the things you can do to involve your audience?
By asking the audience to give you their own experiences on a subject matter you're talking about.
Probably you go to a region where people speak a language that is not yours. You should be able to have grasped even a greeting in their own language.
We had Obama speaking Sheng here. It's so touching. All right, audience participation. What are some of the ways you have done in the past and have worked of getting the audience to participate?
So what I do in trainings or the talks is I share a personal story. So being from a conservative community, they don't expect someone who has a hijab to dance in like Kijaluo.
We've mentioned use of music. I'm looking for examples now.
Twadhiaga tokenete, togeshoka tokenete, rugendo rwito rwari rwega, togedhiena togeshoka. Now that is a very simple song that explains how the Mau Mau children were able to move in the forest undetected and victorious at the end of the day.
Music does not speak to your brain. It doesn't speak to your logic. Music connects with you at the emotional level. Use of stories. The job a story does is to connect you to the audience. It is through your story that I feel your humanness. All right? So that's the use of stories. Repetition. You will know you have said it often enough if the audience are saying it. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place.
After the first training that focused on communication, the contestants are taken through the second part, the campaign strategy, to fully equip them on their mission to convince the voters why they are fit for the presidency.
Today we are going to talk about how to design a political campaign strategy. In a nutshell, what can we call a strategy?
Strategy is a plan that one develops to ensure that they reach the goal that they intend to achieve.
A campaign is seen as an organized and purposeful effort to create change and convey an idea or a set of ideas that would impact the lives of the people you are speaking to. We are also saying you plan thoughtfully because you have to be enamored with information that will make you resonate, with the audiences you are reaching out to. Before you start, you must do your research. Now, the research should touch on the following. We first think about, do you qualify? That's the most basic of them all. For example, let me ask, and this is for you to answer. To become a president in Kenya, what is it that you need to satisfy? What conditions do you need to satisfy?
For you to be a president in Kenya, you have to be a Kenyan citizen.
ought to be a registered voter.
A registered voter. Something else?
You must have been cleared by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Authority.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you must know the conditions required for that clearance. But there's something else that is very important also. What level of education is permissible?
You must have an undergraduate degree.
But there are other levels of research. You must know how people generally in every region think, the patterns of voting, the way they respond to politics. Yeah? So that when you're planning, you know exactly how to capture their attention. It is also necessary to go back a little and check how past elections have been conducted and the results that came out of them. What are the main factors affecting this election? There are dynamics always, sometimes dictated by the profiles of the candidates who you are dealing with. I want us to give an example of personal strengths and personal weaknesses that would limit you on the campaign trail.
One of my weaknesses is being carried away by the audience.
When you see an audience, you get excited.
Yes, overexcited. And it makes me end up forgetting what I wanted to say at times.
One of the weaknesses could be a language barrier.
Language barrier.
Yeah. Like I know my Swahili is horrible.
So there's always room for improvement. Yeah. So when you have the research bit done, step 2 will be setting your goal. You must know the overall number of voters. When you're targeting voters, you must know the geography of the area you're going to cover very well. You must do voter analysis, even based on that geographical, general geographical view that you have about where you're going to campaign and ask for votes. And you must acquaint yourself with the following, among others. What are the values of the people who live in a particular area? At the same time, you have to consider what issues you are addressing. Let's go to the characteristics of a good message. A good message must be short. The message must be truthful and credible. Your message must be persuasive and important to voters. The message must be clear and it must speak to the heart. And more importantly, you must use available channels to get them, other than yourself. You've done all those things we've talked about. Now you must make it happen. How do you make it happen? Define the following. The role of the candidate. What does the candidate do to ensure that votes are cast in his favor? Meet the people, persuade them. It has to be you. But then, you can't do everything. There has to be what we call a campaign manager. How do you choose your campaign manager? He must be very well known to the terrain. He must know the terrain very well. He must be very well known to you. He must understand the terrain that he's working in very well. You must have somebody we call campaign professionals. People to advise you on how to mobilize. People to plan the expenditure for you. How do you spend? People to plan logistics for you. And people to help you communicate. People who carry your message on your behalf. The final one from me. What's your brand? Period. You must really think about what your brand is. With those few remarks, thank you very much. God bless you.
It is very important for a candidate, and this is something that is very deep in my heart now as I move into the campaigns, to package my message in a way that every man and woman in Kenya is able to understand what I am saying, to engage with me, and also to give feedback.
It got me thinking into how can I run a campaign that sets itself apart, that sets me apart as a candidate compared to other contestants, or compared to how it has previously been done.
You are watching Miss President. Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected. 16 made it to the finals, and we went to visit each one of them in their counties to learn more about them. Now, only the top 5 remain. The final battle is on to see who will emerge as the winner after all these months of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations and eliminations to eventually be voted in by you as Miss President. Here are the counties that are represented by the remaining contestants. And now, a quick look at the contestants still in the academy. The coalitions have been disbanded and the contestants are competing at an individual level. A quick summary of today's training on communications. What is a good speech and what makes a speech memorable? Human beings have 5 senses. You need to appeal to all emotions, that is senses. Don't just speak to the ear. Let your personality shine through. Do not imitate even the best speakers. People need to relate with you. Come down to your audience's level. Audience participation. Use of stories, repetition, humor, and music. A quick summary of today's training on campaign strategy. A campaign strategy is an organized and purposeful effort to create change and convey an idea or a set of ideas that would impact the lives of the people you are speaking to. You must know the conditions required in order to be cleared to run for the office of the president. Ask yourself whether you qualify to be president. Do your research. Plan thoughtfully with the information obtained from your research. Make reference to past elections and how they were handled. What are the main factors affecting the current elections? What are your personal strengths or weaknesses that may affect your campaign? Know the geography of the region you are campaigning in. Ask yourself, what are the values of the people you are talking to during your campaign? Your message must be clear and must speak to the heart of the voters. And lastly, use available channels to get to the voter other than your person.
Prepare a campaign strategy of your engagement. How will you go about doing things differently?
But the real deal that will hand us this seat is the strategy.
No, people are reluctant to really do something maybe they don't understand.
Do we have banners? Do we have Uto to leaflet?
One of the great things that sets transformational leaders apart is that leader who can sit down and be told.
People at a local level.
Baadaye ukimwambia kwamba I have you in mind, anasema this is my leader. In our campaign, we can identify strategic ways of engaging our people at the grassroots.
We have to keep our country safe for ourselves and our generations. That is my contribution to this generation, my voice.
What would be the best rallying call for us? Uongozi kwenu.
Captivate their attention.
I think it's very important that we deliver that message in a strong way.
The beautiful thing about this team is that there is a baby who's also part of the campaign team. Look at that.
You know, as a president, people keep telling you, so what do you think about Kenya's future? For me, as an incoming president, then I have somebody who was inside of me just 2 weeks ago who must have the best possible future.
Our group is all about people participation.
Yeah.
And that's why research is very important to know what do you want.
Rais Irene, kwa ajili yenu.
I'm thinking we just work with education.
In every community, education really is the basis for change.
Like creating capacity building sessions.
Everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses. I know my weaknesses. So I think I've tried to just come up with something that can compensate.
Are you ready?
I'm already getting it.
I'm here and I'm ready.
Kenya's future depends on me being Miss President.
I have been ready.
Just waiting for the official announcement.
We call ourselves Rais Irene Mayaka, kwa ajili yenu. The reason why we went with this is because we believe that the team, the Kenyans out there, own our campaign. They own this presidency. This is not about Irene as a person. It is about you, the Kenyan out there.
Rais ni Mayaka.
mapambano. Haya, asanteni sana. Vijana oye! Vijana oye! Semeni public participation. Hiyo ndio sera ambayo mimi nauza. Mimi nasema nikikuwa rais nitahakikisha ya kwamba kila mahali mnapoenda mnaongelea mambo ambayo inawahusu. Hakuna mambo na rais yanaamua, nyinyi ndio mnaamua. Kwa hivyo mnafanya public participation, sawa? I'm gonna be iron like a lion in Zion. Nitakuwa rais wa kuwasikiza. Rais wa nini? Nikisema kitu mnarudia, sawa? Na hapa ya kwamba ikifika Julai nitampigia kura Rais Irene Mayaka. Mungu awasaidie. Asanteni.
I would like to take this opportunity to introduce my campaign strategy, and I just focused on one thing, which is education. And we believe in our campaign and our party that education is the only solution for the sustainable development goals.
Vijana mpo! Vijana mpo! My agenda is only one thing, na hiyo ni education. Education kutoa corruption, education kuempower kina mama, education kuempower vijana, education kwa machumi. Kura kwa umi! Kura kwa umi! This time round tuna elect youth ama vipi? Tumekataa siasa ya corruption hatutaki. Tunaishua Kenya haina corruption, and that is what I'm advocating for. Hakuna mtu atakuwa anaishi less than 100 shillings a day. Sawa sawa. Kazi tutakuwa nayo, education itakuwa sawa, free education hadi secondary. It's possible.
My team is a mashinani team. We are very consistent with the message that we need to ensure and advocate for the basic services of every Kenyan.
Hakuna mtu ambaye anaweza badilisha maisha ya wakaazi wa Dagoretti isipokuwa sisi wenyewe. Tafadhali tujipende, tujilinde biashara zetu, our children, our young people, because nobody can change the lives of the Kenyan except ourselves. Kenya sio Kenya kama haina vijana wetu. Kenya sio Kenya bila kina mama zetu. Kenya sio Kenya bila wazee wetu. Kwa heshima naomba kuwa rais Miss President wa kwanza #019 Anwarogorokiai. Tufanye kazi pamoja kama viongozi mashinani.
In this election, this is a story of Kenya, and it is a beautiful story that showcases that Kenya has the capacity of women who can lead at all levels, including the highest level in the land.
Nairobi mko! Mimi ni moja wenu. Na mkiniingiza kuwa Miss President, nitajali single mothers, kwa sababu mimi pia ni single mother. Ninaelewa changamoto ambayo single mothers wako nayo. Mimi nitawajali vilivyo. Jokanya na muntie! Jokanya na muntie! Umorginga! Umorginga! Wakenya wenzangu mpo! Mimi ni mama. Na ni mama ambaye anawakilisha Kenya
Kenya nzima. Uongozi wangu ni uongozi wa Wakenya wote. Mkinikubalia nikalie hicho kiti, ajenda yangu itakuwa ajenda ya youth, kuangazia girl child. Ajenda yangu itakuwa ajenda ya kuangazia maendeleo ya wanawake. Kura kwa Beti ni kura kwa usalama. Kura kwa Beti ni kura kwa vijana. Kura kwa Beti ni kura kwa boy child.
Our political strategy has been developed keeping in mind that we respect the power of the people of Kenya, and we come to Kenyans willing to serve, and we come with open hands as servants of the people of Kenya.
Mimi ni mama na nimesimama na wakina mama, nimesimama na vijana, nimesimama na waume wetu, lakini sera yangu ya juu kabisa ninawahakikishia, na nikisema hakuna kijana yeyote atagharamia masomo yake katika university za Kenya. Mimi ninasema maneno ya HELB inaondolewa. Uongozi wa mama ni sasa na uongozi wa nao ni sasa.
Sirita Nara Kes Omodea.
Angusha, wachalia. Mimi kama mama nitahakikisha uko na pesa ndio upate chakula. Nitahakikisha uko na pesa ndio uende hospitali. Nitahakikisha uko na pesa ndio upeleke mtoto shule. Nitahakikisha uko na pesa ufanye biashara.
You are watching Miss President. Over 1,000 applications were received from all over Kenya, and from these, 70 contestants were shortlisted. After a series of auditions, 40 women were selected. 16 made it to the finals, and we went to visit each one of them in their counties to learn more about them. Now, only the top 5 remain. The final battle is on to see who will emerge as the winner after all these months of training, tasks, challenges, problem-solving activities, presentations and eliminations to eventually be voted in by you as Miss President. Here are the counties that are represented by the remaining contestants. And now, a quick look at the contestants still in the academy. The coalitions have been disbanded and the contestants are competing at an individual level. After the campaigns, the judges are going through each contestant's campaign trail to check on their performances. Did they get it? Or did they lose? Well, let's hear what the judges have to say.
Hello. We are very excited to have you guys here once more to see the top 5 contestants and the ladies who've come to support them to ensure that their candidate gets the top. So we are very grateful for those who've come to give that support, but we're also very proud for those who've made it to the top 5 because it was not an easy feat. And for that, we just want to say congratulations and let the fire keep burning. Today on the bench, we have Judge Michael, Judge Njeri.
Hello, ladies.
So I'll give Judge Michael the first instance.
One of the things that I must say is that we're quite disappointed with what is going on social media. And it's evident that you're not handling it. Those are your supporters. Those are people who are either for you or not for you, and you need to be on top of that. The other thing that I want to say, which I am really, really disappointed in, is that you've all ignored what Article 10 of the Constitution says. And that needs to be totally and absolutely at the center of your campaign.
If in your campaigns all we are seeing is the same rhetoric over and over and over, what are you going to be promising Kenyans? Where are the policy issues that we have trained you on? What are you doing about the current circumstances we are facing right now in this country? There are a number of issues that can be addressed by you. We've given you a platform, but you're not using it. So from my perspective, I would just like to urge you to get serious and take this like a calling. It is not a game.
Thank you so much for all those comments. With that, we will call those who are going on probation forward.
Nerea, could you please come and take a seat? Irene, could you please follow Nerea and take a seat also? Umi, could you also come forward and take a seat? Betty, could you come forward and take a seat? And Anne, come and join the rest of them. I'd like to start with both Irene and Nerea. If you don't mind, could you please stand up, the two of you? I have read what's been on social media because it's public, it's in the public domain. What do you have to say for yourselves?
My fellow contestant Irene and I actually come from the same political party, so our support base are jostling to see which one is going to come out top. But I want to state here that I have not had any pseudo accounts opened by my supporters. I have not sanctioned any of that happening. I have not done any opinion polling. I am very, very strict and very, very sure that I have kept them looking at what content are we putting out there for our supporters to do. And that I'm very sure about.
There was a post I had seen, and I'll just quote it. Mimi kama hashtag Rais Irene Mayaka siwezi kuwapinga, it's coming home. Ukifunga multibet, bet ya kwanza inaivaa pap, ya pili inaangusha last minute. Hizo zingine ziliban pesa kabla game ianze. This was specifically on your page. And I grabbed it before you deleted it. Wouldn't you say that's inciting?
All right, that particular post, I agree with you, that was wrong because the intention was more of a banter, which I later realized, actually like about 10-20 minutes later, that it was wrong. It was not well taken.
Are you going to say it just came out of nowhere? I think you can sit down now.
So for us, I will guarantee you, and I want to guarantee Kenyans watching this program, that we're going to uphold and ensure that the person that ends up being Miss President actually embraces all the great things that we have put into our Constitution and all the other things that we've factored in terms of governance and policies that surround the elections of representatives for this country, and especially at this level of the presidency. Thank you. You may sit down.
Umi, please come forward. We went with you in the last lesson where you heard about discussing how to develop a campaign strategy.
Yes.
And you had been requested as contestants to develop your campaign strategies and hand them over the day you are going for campaigns at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
I only see 4 strategies here. I don't see yours.
Yeah.
What happened?
My mind was a bit full, and I was making a lot of decisions back at my organization's project and a few other things I was handling, and I wasn't able to send them in time.
You have got to say and be transparent about what it is you're planning to do. There's no room for I didn't have the time or that I'm tired. Betty, please come forward. The dangers of ethnic profiling. And it's done in many ways. One of them is to speak in vernacular and not regarding that there are other people from other communities that you're speaking to. Why did you make a choice to do that?
My strategy was, let me connect with this community. That's why my first greeting was in Luo. But the next statement was, habari zenu wa Kenya. So
I quickly rebuffed it back to the national language and addressing everyone who was there in Kiswahili.
Thank you. You can have a seat.
Thank you.
I will hand over to you, Judge Sipi.
Thank you, Anne Warugurukiai. And through all the 5 points during the campaign, I didn't hear your ideologies. I only heard I will provide basic services and mimi ni president wa mashinani. I do not know mashinani is which areas of Kenya specifically. So the town people will not enjoy your presidency? And what exactly are basic services? Because whichever part of the country we are in, every person has got a different need. So what exactly were you talking about?
The hashtag Kiongozi Mashinani was very intentional. I wanted to provoke, and I want to thank my team for that. We wanted to provoke the minds of every Kenyan to think that, hey, being Kiongozi Mashinani and being where we stay, this is the first place we effect change. Addressing the issue of basic services. As a team, we had picked on identifying the environment in which we were in and trying to identify a particular issue that was affecting the members of our community.
After the very first and the second stop, we would have expected that in the third, fourth, and fifth stop, you would have taken time to address what you had collected from your research as needs of the people you had been talking to, and at least speak them out. But you did research and never addressed them. I'll start with the order in which you talked today. Nerea, you need to control your supporters. Whatever they say is up to you, because they can only follow how you lead them. So if you cannot lead them in the right way, then we cannot trust you as a president. Irene Mayaka, avoid incitement in whatever form, in whatever mildest way, avoid it. As a leader, you must strategize. And strategy means you evaluate any campaign instrument before you use it. So when you put it there and you say, I did not know that it would elicit this kind of reactions, then you did not do your research well in terms of strategy. And Nerea and Irene, we demand that you record a public statement and address your supporters, telling them how to conduct a campaign, while at the same time apologizing to your fellow contestants. We need a recorded statement. Nowadays we have videos, Facebook Live and all that. And beyond that, you can also do a written one. Umu, I think the same comment that's going for Nerea right now. You cannot have any excuse to the people, to your citizens, that I was tired, so I was not able to address you yesterday. I felt I was having some personal issues, so I was not able to read the budget. I was not able to give the state of the nation. Those are not excuses you can give people. Betty, there are no ideologies on your paper. Even when you are speaking to the youth, we are not hearing what exactly are you promising them. Yes, wewe ni mama ya vijana, unaelewa shida ya vijana. Shida ya vijana ni nini? We are not getting that clearly. Yeah. And Anne Warugurukiai, your ideologies, they are clear on the paper according to you. Health is one thing that people worry about in Shags. At least where most of us come from. Because right now you go to your home counties, everybody is sick. Food is not a problem. Shelter is not a problem. Clothing is not a problem. Because as a teacher, it is important to give people a chance to improve. We will allow you all back into the academy and hope we see improvement in each and every one of you. You know, the next time we meet, it's the public debate. I wonder what you will tell us. Thank you.
For me, it was great. Interacting with people, just going back to that space of meeting with people, talking to them, selling my policy, and seeing all those supporters, that was humbling. And let's just show Kenyans and the world that women can compete in a political process, in a leadership process, without resorting to maligning each other's character.
I've never really done like an intensive campaign. And when I was picturing myself on the podium, I didn't think I would get any reaction from the crowd completely. So seeing them respond and seeing them, getting to hear my agendas, I think that was impressive. It kind of made me start planning for 2022.
After a busy and highly charged day at the Academy, it is now time to refocus energies and re-strategize on their final leg in the competition. There is a presidential debate coming up, and to be live. I will leave you to let what you have seen on tonight's show sink in. Reflect on the various messages the contestants gave us as I remind you there is a presidential debate coming up and it will be live. There will be a chance to ask your preferred candidate any questions you may have. Listen for their thoughts, opinions, compliments or suggestions. Tweet us on @media_focus. Tupate kwa Facebook @MediaFocus on Africa. Check us out on Instagram @MediaFocus on Africa. Share your thoughts. We'd like to hear from you. Voting for your choice of who should be Miss President officially opens tonight, Wednesday the 17th of July at 9 p.m. So, send your vote via SMS to 22840, Tena 22840, free of charge. Instructions on how to vote for your chosen candidate are provided here. Note that you can only vote once a day. However, you can vote on multiple days. So, kwa mfano, mimi kama Jimmy nitume SMS yangu tonight. That's it for today. If I send 20 texts tonight, only one will be valid. Lakini if I send one vote per day for the next 3 days, all 3 votes will be valid. Sijui kama tunaelewana? Tuko pamoja? Okay, ngoja naangalia kamulika kama hizi angalia saa ngapi. Hold on. Okay, so you can start voting in a few minutes. Try next week.